Yes! Good news, ladies and gentlemen. Good news for the future of democracy. Bad news for the future of authoritarianism. This is Facepalm America. I'm Beowulf Rockland. FacepalmAmerica.com. The Colorado Supreme Court has disqualified Donald Trump from the state's 2024 ballot. Yes, that's right. The Colorado Supreme Court on Tuesday declared Donald Trump ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's Insurrections Clause and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot, setting up a likely showdown in the nation's highest court, the Supreme Court of the United States, to decide whether the frontrunner for the GOP nomination can remain in the race. But for now, it is a victory! Section 3, as you may know, ladies and gentlemen, of the 14th Amendment states that no one should hold office in the U.S. if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. And as we all know, that is what Donald Trump has done. So, in a 4-3 ruling, the court, whose justices, by the way, were all appointed by Democratic governors, makes Trump the first presidential candidate in U.S. history, so many firsts, none of them good, to be deemed ineligible for the White House under a rarely used provision that bars elected officials from holding office if they had engaged in insurrection or rebellion. This is good news. You know why? Let's bring down the music here and talk about this seriously and think about what this actually means. So, this is going to wake a few people up. It may not ultimately mean anything or change what ultimately happens in the 2024 presidential election. And I know that there have been those who have come on this program who have said, let Donald Trump be on the ballot, let him run, and let him be defeated outright. And to that I say, look, as long as we operate under a system, and I may not necessarily care for this system myself, in which the states get to decide what the qualifications are for being on the ballot, whether it's a primary or a general election. As long as we're in a situation where the states get to make most of the rules, I say, in this case, it's pretty clear-cut. He engaged in insurrection. That's against the Constitution. And under the Constitution, you can't run for federal office if you've done that. So, he can't be on the ballot. Now, people can still vote for him. You can't stop that. Just write him in. But the nice thing about that is that you never know completely how many Trump supporters know how to write. I know. That's not nice. That's not fair. You know what? Donald Trump isn't nice or fair. So there! Now look, this may all go away by the time the Supreme Court makes a ruling on this. Or it could be that the Supreme Court which has so often come down on the side of quote-unquote states' rights, may actually say, yep, that is what the Constitution says. And so we're going to allow this to go through. Or it may possibly say that maybe they don't have jurisdiction. Maybe Colorado gets to say what it wants regardless of what the Supreme Court says on the matter. That could be. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to get a legal expert on that particular angle. At any rate, the court has stayed its decision until January 4th, or until the U.S. Supreme Court rules on the case. So we will get more information about this in the weeks to come. But if this is allowed to stand, then other states will follow. Other states are already in the process of trying to do this same thing. Imagine if Donald Trump couldn't get on the ballot not only in Colorado, which at this point is a safely Democratic state, but what if he couldn't get on the ballot in Pennsylvania, or Michigan, or Wisconsin? That would actually start to mean something. If all the Trump supporters, in order to vote for him, had to literally write him in, oh my goodness, that would change the dynamic enormously. And this is right. This is correct. You know, I have some problems with the Constitution, but it's absolutely right that if you've engaged in trying to overthrow the Constitution, which Trump tried to do, then you shouldn't be allowed to run for president. That's just such a no-brainer. And to the Supreme Court of Colorado, I say, huzzah! I applaud you! Congratulations! You have done the right thing! Take a bow! Oh. Colorado's highest court overturned a ruling from a district court judge who found that the Trump incited insurrection. Found that Trump incited an insurrection for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, but said he could not be barred from the ballot because it was unclear that the provision was intended to cover the presidency. Well, you know what? The Supreme Court disagrees. Supreme Court of Colorado. We will see what the Supreme Court of the United States says, or if indeed they decide to take up the case. But for right now, that's pretty good news. And in these dark times, I think that is something to celebrate. And as more information comes through, we will let you know what it is. And there's going to be more information. And there's going to be very interesting moves in other states to go in this same direction. I want to thank Ace Elson and Rosabelle Hine for producing this program. I want to urge you to go to facepalmamerica.com. I want to ask you to go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or other platforms, those are the two I know, where you can rate and review us. Give us a positive rating if you think that this is something that you would like other people to listen to or you enjoy yourself. And until next time, enjoy the day.